Hello, class, and Dr. Elwell. My name is Jeremy White, and the following will be a presentation on whistleblowing titled To Blow or Not to Blow, the Whistleblowing Stigma. In the past 30 years, many corporations and organizations have been rocked by whistleblowing scandals. While Hollywood has glamorized and celebrated whistleblowing with movies like Erin Brokovich, Deepwater Horizon, Snowden, and The Informant, the truth is, there's still progress to be made by society to destigmatize whistleblowers. Many still struggle with the moral dilemma of doing what is right. In this presentation, I will cover examples of whistleblowing cases, whistleblower protection, and negative aspects of whistleblowing and ways to improve the process of whistleblowing. First, let's define the term whistleblower. According to the Merriam-Webster dictionary, a whistleblower is an employee who brings wrongdoing by an employer or employees to the attention of a government or law enforcement agency and who is commonly vested by statute with rights and remedies for retaliation. The act of whistleblowing goes back as far as a declaration of King Witred in the 7th century in medieval England. Ben Franklin is known as one of America's first whistleblowers in 1773 when he exposed the governor of Massachusetts for lying to Parliament. In the early 1970s, around the time of the Watergate scandal, whistleblowing became more of a household term. The following are some of the more popular and recent cases of whistleblowing that you may be familiar with: Watergate, Erin Brokovich, Enron, British Petroleum Deepwater Horizon, the Edward Snowden NSA scandal, the Bradley Manning WikiLeaks scandal, and the Penn State football sexual abuse case. Time magazine also proclaimed 2002 as the year of the whistleblower. There are several federal and state laws in place designed to protect whistleblowers: the Whistleblower Protection Act, the Clean Air Act, the Fair Labor Standards Act, the Occupational Safety and Health Act, the Safe Drinking Water Act, and the Commercial Motor Vehicle Safety Act. As you can see, these laws are broad in range and offer protection in several different areas for potential whistleblowers. The mere existence of laws and policies does not guarantee protection, largely due to loopholes and many companies turning your head and looking the other way. Many whistleblowers are often seen as threats to their employers, and power and money often outweigh morality in the corporate world. Contrarily, research also shows that current lack of regulations and lack of support are a main reason for not reporting wrongdoings. Some negative aspects reported during my research were mental, physical, and health issues, regret, demotion, retaliation, harassment, financial and family issues, and loss of employment career. In the book Whistleblowers, political scientist Fred Alford from the University of Maryland discusses how an overwhelmingly large number of whistleblowers lost faith in the greater good of the professional world and regret what they thought was the admirable thing to do at the time. Alford's book also says that if faced with the same decision again, many whistleblowers would not report the concerns again. In an article written by Barbara Redmond and Arthur Kaplan, both of the New York University Division of Medical Ethics, they say through their research, they believe most whistleblowers are not being protected. They show that 75% of whistleblowers felt stigmatized, feared retaliation, felt pressured to drop the accusations, but also 80% of those would report issues again. Dr. Michael Hoffman, a professor from Bentley University in Massachusetts, and Mark Swartz, a professor at New York University in Toronto, wrote an article titled "The Morality of Whistleblowing." Their initial research showed that up to 21% of people that reported improper behavior experienced some form of retaliation, and 46% reported fear of reprisal for not reporting questionable behavior at all. These are some of the major suggestions throughout my research that are offered as ways to improve whistleblowing: trust, transparency, code of ethics, survey employees, anonymity, change perception, encourage moral behavior, provide support, minimize risks, random audits, and protection against retaliation. Authors and attorneys Tom Devine and Tariq Masarani, both of the Government Accountability Project, penned the book The Corporate Whistleblower's Survival Guide. In this book, they point out corporate wrongdoing does not only occur in large organizations, but in all levels and sizes. Their book gives tips and tools for potential whistleblowers and stress being able to trust who you turn to for help. Independent journalist Abby Ellis states in an article titled "6 Ways to Improve Whistleblowing Overnight" on whistleblower.org that whistleblowing is the most important practice for strengthening transparency in all organizations and corporations. Her article covered a whistleblowing conference that also suggests supporting internal and reporting and employee incentives. Martin Woods, former Wachovia Bank employee who blew the whistle on Wachovia for laundering Mexican cartel drug money, was fired and blacklisted in the banking industry. He later became the head of financial crime for Thomson Reuters, and states in the article, "Whistleblowers are looking for help." She also talks of the importance of courage for potential whistleblowers. Ken Perkins, Associate Director of the FBI, testified to the Senate Judiciary Committee that the FBI takes whistleblowing very seriously and how important it is. Some improvements they are making to their whistleblowing process and protections are access to alternate resolution, expanding resources, compensation, improving training, expanding authority for employees to make sanctions, better witness access, and publishing decisions for annual reports. In a study conducted by the University of Oklahoma Psychology Department in 2014, potential whistleblowers said they would be more inclined to report transgressions if their identity was protected. The study also showed that those who did come forward were not properly prepared. Several subjects in the article said they felt whistleblowing needed more organizational support, but was a professional and moral obligation. It concluded with the almost exact same results, that whistleblowing should be encouraged and to improve internal systems. Hoffman and Swartz also assert that an organization have written anti-retaliation policy against whistleblowing in place, and that potential reporters would likely remain silent if there was no such policy in place. They also suggest that instead of believing the whistleblowing will lead to significant change, that simply hoping it will change should be reason enough. Whistleblowing still remains an important part of keeping an organization honest, ethical, and morally just. Some may view these acts as tattletelling or snitching, but when companies, reputations, and lives are at stake, it becomes necessary to expose corruption. Although there are laws and protections in place, there is still room to improve the process and remove the negative connotation that comes with whistleblowing. I will conclude this presentation with a quote from Albert Einstein that states, "The world is a dangerous place, not because those who do evil, but because of those who look on and do nothing."